Hey guys, and thanks to Trisha for kicking us off tonight. It is awesome to have you guys here and to just be sharing with you our story and where we are. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Chelsea Skaggs. I am a recovering people pleaser, fad dieter, and anxiety sufferer. And I share that with you because all three of those aspects are things that really tie into what coaching is for me and parts of my story. So I started my own health journey a little over 2 years ago, and I was a teacher at the time. I was working late hours, bringing my work home with me and feeling extremely overstressed. I was usually eating my lunch from the vending machine, so y'all know what that can mean. And just not taking care of my body. I did not have time for myself. I have always been a giver, and I love people who are givers. Although I've realized that it is us givers that struggle the most sometimes to make time for ourselves and to take care of ourselves. And that was definitely what I was in. And I was at the peak of my anxiety during that time. And so someone asked me if I was interested in getting healthier. And I was like, well, why not? Because I feel like crap. It was not looking my best. I knew I wasn't my healthiest, and I was willing to give something a shot. So I joined my first accountability group, and during that group, I learned that even though I felt like I didn't have time, I didn't have energy, I didn't have the money, it was revolutionary for me to learn how to fit in a workout and to get in proper nutrition and learn what proper nutrition was, you guys. Like I said, I'm a recovering fad dieter, which means I tried different things because I wanted to be healthier. I thought, what if I go fat-free? What if I go low-calorie? Maybe I should be vegetarian. How do I eat healthy? And I just didn't know what my body needed and how to take care of me. And I think that's where a lot of us are. We get so caught up in these labels and these fads, and that was exactly where my mind was. And I would often just shut down and be like, you know what, forget it. I'm not going to try because I don't understand and I can't figure out what the best route to go is. And so I would shut down. So in this first healthy accountability group I started, I learned about clean eating, and that was new for me. I learned what it meant to select foods that were more natural and that my body was able to process and use more properly, and how to do that in balance and in portion. And so that, you guys, like I said, was revolutionary for me. Getting in exercise and eating properly did amazing things for my emotional and mental state and my anxiety, and it took me to a whole new level. And so it took me from a time when I used to punish my body for not being what I thought it should be to a time now where I celebrate my body and what it can do for me and embrace the journey, because I realize that this is a lifelong journey. It's not how many pounds can I lose in a month? It's how can I change and have these sustainable habits that I can carry through my life. And that is where I came in my own journey. And when I realized how much that changed my life, I knew that I wanted to share that with other people. Now, when someone first mentioned coaching to me, I thought, I am not in good enough shape to do this. I don't understand enough. I'm not a professional in it. Why the heck would people care what I was doing or what I had to say? And what will people think of me if I start to do that? So those are just these huge fears that were over me. And it took me a while to come to terms with those and to realize that those things didn't matter, because I had a passion and I had a gift and I had found something that had done such good things for my life, and I could share that with other people. And so for me to be worried about all these other extremities and these fears that held me back, I realized one day that was selfish and that was silly, and that if I wasn't going to share with people, there were probably people who weren't going to learn or hear or be encouraged about taking care of themselves better. And so I made the decision to start coaching. And really, I started when I was still teaching, and I was just doing it super on the side, fitting some messages in during my lunch break and maybe some before or after work. But really, I just wanted to like share with a few friends and let them know what I was doing and invite them to do it as well. And then I started to realize, wow, this hasn't just changed my life, but I get to see this change other people's lives, people that I care about, and I get to see these good things happening in their life. And I started to want that more and more. So I started to put a little bit more time into coaching. But then I became pregnant. Found out I was pregnant in November of 2015, and again, I was still teaching at the time, and I knew right away that it was not for me personally to go back to teaching. I was due in August, and that's like right when the school year starts, and I thought there's no way I can start a new school year, I can be teaching, and I can give the attention that I want to my child. And so my husband and I made some decisions. We decided that I would be able to stay at home, but we still needed or could definitely use some extra income. And I've heard so much about how isolating it can be as a new mom and postpartum depression and all of these things. And I knew I needed to be intentional about that. I knew that I needed to commit myself to having an outlet to develop and have accomplishments personally and professionally. I knew that I needed to find a way to be so committed to my own health journey that I could combat some of those things that could come up postpartum. And I really decided to dive in, and I said, you know what, this is going to be what I do. This is how I'm going to contribute to my family, and this is how I'm going to use my passion for helping and loving on other people. Because again, I've always been a helper. I've been in social work. I've been in education. I've always, my dream was to get my degree in counseling. And I still think about that from time to time, but I realize right now, like, I get to be a part of people's journeys. I get to not just help them lose weight or not just help them learn how to eat better, but you guys, that touches so many pockets of their life. So I get to be a part of someone teaching their family healthier habits or dealing with the way they see themselves as a new mom and all the changes in their body and helping them to get themselves in a positive mindset where they're pushing forward. And so, okay, I'm not a counselor, but my gosh, I get to be a part of people's lives and help them, and that is 100% what I've wanted, and I never thought that it would come through healthy lifestyle coaching. Like, on no surveys in high school or observations in college was this what I was doing, but it's like God brought this in my path and put this in my lap because it aligned with my passions and it gives me these opportunities. And so, my goal is to eventually replace that full-time teaching salary, but for right now, I've been paying a lot of our bills and supplementing our family income with this business and doing what I love and doing it during nap time or in the evenings, after bedtime like this. Life is crazy, especially with a newborn. Life is crazy. Schedules are crazy. There are 20 different reasons why I could say this wouldn't work, but the things that this business has given me has made it so worth it. And I'm going to try to cut this off because I could go on and on and on. But being able to see so many milestones with my son has blessed my life like crazy. This business has given me confidence unlike anything else, and not confidence because of the way my body looks, but confidence because of the way that my brain is working and my soul believes in myself. It's given me determination, it's given me a mindset of positivity, and these things have carried into my marriage and me as a mother and the process of giving birth. My friendships, you guys, I feel so much more confident in meeting new friends and reaching out to people, things that I would never have done if it weren't for this. And so I just leave you saying I'm so thankful for so many aspects of this business, and I'm thankful for the financial aspect because one, it's helped with bills, and it's growing, and it is such an opportunity for me to have, something really sustainable from home. And because as a woman, there's just something about me personally that I've wanted to contribute that to my family, but I've wanted to do it in a way that really resonates with me and sits well with my spirit and my soul, and this has met that. Like, I'm not selling things to people. I'm hooking them up with resources, but they are freaking awesome resources, and I'm not just leaving them high and dry. Like, I could never do a sales job. I just couldn't. But I can help people use these resources, and then I can be their cheerleader and I can support the heck out of them. Like, that feels good to me. So this business has given me that confidence. It has given me a way to financially contribute to my family. It has given me friends that I would have never had if it weren't for this, you know. And so I say, if I had never made a dime from this business, I still would feel like I have won the jackpot because of the amazing things it has done for me in my personal development, my professional development, my relationships, my confidence, and yeah, that's where I am. I've had this journey through being a stressed out teacher, to being through my pregnancy and having a healthy pregnancy, to navigating the postpartum world, which is a whole new world, to now dealing with a recent diagnosis that requires me to be really mindful of the things I'm putting into my body. And if I had not learned how to read labels and be familiar with foods, I have no idea where I'd be right now. But I owe so much of this to coaching, into my story, into my journey, and I stinking love it, and I just want to share that. I want to share that with you and with people who can benefit from where I've been. So if you are I saw a couple people just hopped on. I encourage you to go back and rewatch this. I love sharing my story, and I thank you for the opportunity to do that. And even if you're watching right now or watching later, feel free to leave questions or message me about a question, any part of my journey. Again, I've learned to love to share the real, authentic life, and that's what this has given me. So I'm going to turn it back over to Trisha because I could go on and on, but thank you for the opportunity to share.